The original Commander supplemental product came with some of the most powerful legendary creatures ever seen in the Commander format. So much so that today, some of these decks can go for well over triple their original MSRP. Among these was a commander that has become notorious for her power. She is well known in playgroups as a powerful creature with a very straightforward and aggressive deck. Kaalia of the Vast is a Mardu-colored general that, when she attacks an opponent, you can put either an angel, a demon, or a dragon into play, tapped and attacking that opponent. These three creature types are among the most powerful in Magic, often having incredible abilities or just brute strength, but are frequently very expensive to cast. Kaalia's ability works around these restrictions, letting you drop huge creatures as soon as she begins attacking. That's why, with the release of the Commander Anthology coming out next year, and the inclusion of this powerful deck, we're going to be discussing a possible strategy for this highly competitive commander. If you enjoy this video, remember to tap that like button down below to let us know. We're going to split our creature base into the three main parts that are relevant: the dragons, the demons, and then the angels. First, the dragons. Balefire Dragon can burn up an entire opponent's field. Dealing 6 damage to each creature that player controls usually spells the end for many creatures, even in the Commander format. Dragon Mage offers some control aspect in forcing a damaged opponent to discard their whole hand and start fresh. Kokusho is a stupidly powerful dragon that can net you a ton of life in multiplayer whenever it dies. Next, let's talk about our demons. Lord of the Void can help us steal an opponent's creature off their top deck whenever it deals combat damage. Runescar Demon acts as a demonic tutor when it hits the field, giving us a huge creature as well as a card that's tutored to our hands. Master of Cruelties offers a one-hit kill function when it's dropped with Kaalia. Let me explain why. The Master normally cannot be declared as an attacker unless it's the sole creature declared. With Kaalia, she drops the demon after attackers are declared, bypassing the Master's attack restriction. Should an opponent be unable to block both the demon and Kaalia, that will be game over. The Master of Cruelties will reduce the opponent's life total to 1, given its first strike dealing its damage first, and then Kaalia will deal the finishing blow. It's a pretty nifty interaction and a very nasty win con. Lastly, but not least, we have our angels. Both forms of Akroma are here given their super powerful abilities and protection. Angel of Despair blows up a permanent upon it entering the battlefield. Aurelia, the war leader, gives us an extra combat phase, which, given the aggression with this deck, can often cause a massive loss of life on an opponent. The original Avacyn, Angel of Hope, makes your entire board indestructible, eliminating the need for you to worry about any board wipes, either yours or your opponent's. Iona and Linvala both suppress your opponent's ability to effectively make plays. Karmic Guide and Raya Dawnbringer both offer good methods to return creatures from the graveyard to the battle. The whole deck isn't just big creature bombs. We do run some low-end creatures to help smooth out the mana curve when we need some early game presence. Grand Abolisher ensures that we don't need to worry about our opponents doing anything during our turns, and Mother of Runes protects Kaalia or a big beastie in the chance that we're being targeted, and Stoneforge Mystic will help us tutor for an equipment early on. The goal of the deck is rather simple. We get Kaalia out as fast as possible, give her some form of evasion against opponent's removal as she will be immediately targeted, then we start swinging in and dropping some huge threats. This is supplemented by some powerful non-creature spells. We have a few pairs of fashionable boots like Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot boots to give her Shroud and Hexproof respectively. Swords of Feast and Famine and Light and Shadow will both give us some added protection from the colors that we need to worry about. Lastly, a few tutors such as Demonic and Diabolic to get the big baddies we want to drop to our hands as quick as possible. A few board wipes like Damnation and Wrath of God to clear the field before we start swinging in for game. We also run some targeted removals such as Mortify, Path to Exile, and Terminate to clear out some annoying threats. Our final section of our spell base will be our mana ramp, which because of the high mana cost of our spells is necessary to get as much mana online as we can as early as possible. Our relevant signets, Boros, Orzhov and Rakdos, Lotus Petal, Mox Diamond, and Chromatic Lantern will all give us some intensive mana ramp that we will need to get this deck going. Our mana base is in red, black, and white. As with all tri-color decks, we will want our selection of shocks, fetches, duels, pain lands, check lands, and so on. Iganjo Castle can protect our commander from being pinged off. Hall of the Bandit Lord can give us a creature spell we cast haste, which in this deck can be very deadly, and of course our various assortment of other multicolor commander staples. Now of course this list is highly customizable, and you can fine-tune it to your heart's desire. There are countless demons, angels, and dragons that can be used in this deck. Most of these are the high end of the mana curve, but they are the bombs that will be dropped to cause a great deal of pressure on the opponent. In this deck, given the explosiveness of dropping some of these large creatures on an unsuspecting opponent, you have a great deal of choice of what abilities you want to include. Perhaps some of our inclusions weren't quite to your liking. Perhaps you have a pet card that will be great to surprise an opponent with. Perhaps you have more of an interest in putting more dragons or demons than angels. Either way, Kaalia of the Vast offers a mighty commander strategy that is among the top tier of even the most competitive of playgroups. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Let us know what you did or didn't like about this list in the comments. If you're looking for the full deck list for the deck featured in this video, just check the description. If you want to see more commanders, click right here for the full playlist of the commander deck techs we've done. If you want to see text for Pauper, the other awesome format we cover, you can click this link for the Pauper playlist. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook by clicking the appropriate links in the description. If you liked this video, tap the like button. And if you're a newcomer to the channel, you can tap that subscribe button to be a part of the Planeswalker Project community and stay up to date with our future videos. There's plenty more on the way.